babies. I bought a new bike. Actually, I bought two. Some time ago, when BMW announced the M1000XR, I put a deposit on one. Actually, if I'm truthful, I put a deposit on one under my mate's name. So I committed my mate to buying an M1000XR, and he kind of, when I told him, he was okay with it. so he's got the MXR, and of course when Ducati announced the Multistrada RS, I was like, could this be the perfect bike, babies? So only one way to find out, I put a deposit on that too. So in the first quarter of next year, between me and my mate, we'll own both the M1000XR by BMW and the Ducati Multi RS. Now, as you all know, I've been on my search for the perfect bike, and I have been talking about getting a weekend test ride on a Pikes Peak, and I still will do that. However, with the Ducati RS, Multi RS coming out, I kind of figured, well, I might as well just skip straight to that, because that's going to be the ultimate multi-strada. Although I do have a couple of concerns. What I love about my Multistrada V4S is the torquiness of the engine. It's got this luscious V4 creamery down low in the middle that I just love on the street, and if you've been following my videos, you will be able to detect my love of the Multi based purely on the sounds, the involuntary sounds that emanate from within when I'm on it. It's just friggin' awesome, that engine and that motorcycle. So I do worry that the Streetfighter engine in that RS Ducati, I am worried that it won't have the same kind of street ability that the Gran Turismo engine's got. Now, I've been reading, and you know, there's some talk of different gearing and tuning and whatever to kind of compensate. That's my only worry. Now, if you saw my video on my back-to-back inner city rides of my three bikes, you will recall that I made comments about my Multi and how I'd love to bling it up, give it a bit of different paint job, change the wheels and tyres and brakes and blah 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 blah. Well, bloody hell, a week after I said that, Ducati announced that they'd actually done it for me in the form of the RS. My only issue is, will this wicked engine, by the way, will it produce the same daily fun factor that the V4S setup does? That's my question. But unfortunately, it's a damn expensive way to find out the answer. You've got to buy one, you can't test ride it, and I'm only going to know once I own it. Mind you, they're in such limited supply that if I don't like it, I'll probably better sell it. Okay, so that's kind of how I'm justifying it to myself. I still will take the Pikes Peak and give that a street burl and report back, and in fact I can then compare that to the RS when I get it as well. But most excitingly, if that's such a word, I am going to be able to compare the M1000XR directly to the RS. Now, last year about Christmas time, I did a tour up north near Byron Bay in the far north of the New South Wales. I'm probably going to do the same trip with my mate on the Beamer and me on the RS Ducati, and we will be able to back the crap out of those two bikes. By the end of that, there will be no questions over the relative credentials of the two. Now, my money's on the Ducati. I know the on paper numbers show that the BM has got 201 horsepower, the Ducati is 170, I think. It's a big difference. But I reckon the character of the engines, based on my real-world research I've been doing of late, is going to decide this one, and I reckon the V4 is going to have it. That S1000, so that BMW 999cc engine's a ripper, but just even in the M1000R, which is its most awesome street application, it just lacks something for me, and I can't see how the XR is going to add anything above that. So based on that, look, it's going to be awesome, but it's going to be a little, dare I say it, the street riding, I'm not going to use the word boring, but it's going to lack the zing, the soul, the vibes, the something that this V4 is just doing so effortlessly. And I really do think Ducati have nailed the way that they tune and deliver this V4. So I just can't see how the XR is going to be more funner than the RS. Now, I could be wrong. I mean, that Streetfighter engine might not work in the RS for street. We don't know, do we? But I can tell you something for free. It works pretty well in the Streetfighter, although rides like this aren't particularly appealing. But anyway, that's where I'm at. So Ducati RS v M1000XR, it is on, babies. Exodus strikes again, babies. It's on, so stay tuned, and I'm going to bring a crap load of content. I'm going to analyse the absolute you-know-what out of both of those motorcycles in due course. I've just got to stop for some fuel. Be right back. Get behind my counter, you doofus. Check it. It's not even its good side. Still looks sick. So where am I at with my Streetfighter journey? Well, I'm just loving it. I haven't done much riding in the last few weeks. I've been away, France, and then I had to go to Mexico for work. And so I haven't been doing a whole lot of riding. I did my 3 days in Bordeaux on the Transalp 750. But I haven't done a lot of riding, and I've been crazy busy at work. Where am I at? Well, I'm just loving this bike. Every time I look at it in the garage, I love it. I think about it, and now I'm on it today. You ripper! It's done. I'm struggling to get my first 1,000 Ks done. I'm up to, what am I up to? 900. I've got another 100 to go. I've basically bought the bike, had a week or two with it, and then had to go overseas. I've been overseas for ages. So anyway, hopefully I'll get the 100 Ks done in the next 7 days, get it first serviced, and then that Brent tune that's waiting on my office desk, I'm going to load that baby up, and then I can tell you all about what the Brent tunes are like on the 23 Streetfighter V4S, babies, which I'm really looking forward to. But it's just wonderful. Just a wonderful machine. And I flip and I flop between this and the Multistrada. I think that's where the RS, back to the RS, I think it could be. Like I'm on this quest for the perfect bike, and gee, I tell you what, on paper that thing's got, it's going to mount a big challenge to the perfect bike quest. I don't know. I just don't know how that engine's going to feel. That's all. It's my only question. I had someone on one of my subscribers tell me that they had some mail that the tuning profile of the RS was not that good, but we'll see. We'll see. There's all those sort of urban myths that float around prior to a bike being released in the real world. My biggest sort of worry about the M1000R, after I bought it and before I took ownership of it, was, will that 1000cc inline 4 deliver the thrills? Will it give me the everyday thrills? And it does. Definitely a big improvement on anything else that engine has been attached to. But just doesn't quite do it, man. Comes so close, but just not quite there. I just do worry that that might happen with this RS, but look, we will see. We will see. Now, for those of you who could be bothered watching my 3, or even one of my 3 Bordeaux wine tour videos, sorry to push you through that, but you know, it was a personal memento, and I wasn't going to waste that opportunity. But for those of you who did, I've got a little confession to make. So over in Bordeaux, the only thing I didn't take with me to France was my helmet. I took everything else, took all my gear, everything except my helmet, because I couldn't fit it. So I thought I'll just use one of the helmets from the rental place, which I did, and it smelled of old man juices. It was bloody horrible. The one mistake I made, I didn't detach my audio setup from this helmet and take it with me. So I got to France, I'm like, oh shitballs, I got no mic. So in Bordeaux, I went to a store, a big department store that had camera gear, and I bought a mic that was compatible with the GoPro. Also, it'd sit on the box, but I'm such a technical novice that I didn't know how to kind of tune it, or you know, set up the gain settings or whatever, or the mic just simply might not have been compatible, right? Anyway, I did my 3 days of Bordeaux goodness, and guess what? No audio. I had the audio from my Insta360. I had the road noise and some of the engine noise and wind noise, obviously, from that, but I had no narration. So I narrated a wonderful series of stories over 3 days, and all for nothing. I did realise this by about towards the end of day 2. I realised that it wasn't working. So on day 3, I didn't do that much narration. So when you listen to those back, here's what I did. Firstly, when I was going slow enough, the camera could pick up on its external mic. It could pick up my narration if my helmet was open. So if there's some original audio narration on there, and you can kind of tell. But the vast majority of the narration, what I had to do, I had to go home, get in my office, put on my helmet to get the sort of EQ I wanted, and relive my entire holiday, which was kind of cool. So I feel like I got to do that trip twice. The second time, sitting in my studio and narrating from the studio. So if you go and listen to those, most of the narration, particularly in the first 2 videos, was post. Okay, the third one, which doesn't have a lot of narration, there was one section where I had to post narrate, but you know, most of that's actually original, but because I was just going slow, whatever. But there you go. It was a major editing fail of epic proportions, and at first I was so sad, but then I thought, well, you know what, I get to relive my holiday. I don't reckon, I sent it to my brother before I posted it online. I said, I've done a major editing fail here, can you tell? He couldn't. He had no idea. I actually got a couple other people listen to it as well. No one could tell. No one. Now that I've told you, when you go back and listen, you'll be able to tell. But if I hadn't told you, I don't reckon you would have. But there you go. That's the commitment I'm prepared to make to get these videos finished. And that was a really cool holiday. And I wanted the memento. And I was bugger it, I'm going to do it. So up in the middle of the night in my studio, narrating my holiday for the second time. Oh dear. Anyway, that's my update. Loving the Streetfighter. It's being Brent-tuned soon. The M1000XR is on its way. The Ducati Multistrada RS is on its way. And we're going to have a fun 2024 because I'm going seriously hard on those 2 bikes to find the perfect bike. And by the way, this Streetfighter is in the mix for that title. It is. The honeymoon phase is definitely over. No question it's over. And I'm still absolutely in awe of it. As is just about every single person that you pass by. Everyone looks at this bike because it's awesome. And I'm back in the studio too, writing some new music. I've got some ideas for, I've got to finish off my 3rd album. I've done 3 tracks, I need another 6 or 7, and coming up with some good ideas. So you'll hear some new sounds soon on these videos. But in the meantime, I might play you an oldie. Well, I'm not that old. I was like 2 years old, but you know what I mean. So enjoy some XODAS. See you later. Subscribers, it's got the shits with Ducati Streetfighter because it doesn't have cruise control. Well, I've got some feedback for you. No cruise control? No worries. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because it's so good. I'll tell you the feature that I miss more though is hill hold. Love hill hold. It's my favourite. Really, really love it. It's like a lazy person's dudek in my hot set. To see that lady came in the night before, she knows class. She knows class when she sees it. I brought your favourite back. I brought your favourite back. I like that guy. He makes my morning. So smiley. XODAS strikes again, babies.